Hello and welcome to Macbeth Act 2, Scene 4, where some men talk about the aftermath of King Duncan's death. It's quite a minor scene. There's no Macbeth, Lady Macbeth, no witches, no Banquo, but it has some glorious imagery of a world turned upside down. It's glorious particularly for animal imagery. Okay, what happens in the scene? Well, Ross and the old man, yes, that's really his name, have a conversation about Duncan's death. Then Ross and Macduff talk about where they will go now. Macduff will go to Fife and Ross will stay where he is with Macbeth. Ross and Macduff part ways and wish each other a goodbye. The scene itself then, it begins with the old man saying that things have been dreadful and strange. Then Ross says something really odd, and he says, you can see it circled there, "By the clock 'tis day, and yet dark night strangles the travelling lamp. It's daytime, and yet it's dark." Now we're immediately in the aftermath of King Duncan's death. Let's see how the world has been turned upside down by Duncan's murder. The old man comes in with something very odd. He says, "A falcon towering in her pride of place was by a mousing owl hawked at and killed." A falcon was hunted and killed. That's wrong. Things get weirder. Ross says this about Duncan's horses. He says, "And Duncan's horses, a thing most strange and certain, beauteous and swift, the minions of their race, turned wild in nature, broke their stalls, flung out, contending against obedience as they would make war with mankind." The old man says, "'Tis said they eat each other." Whoa. So, it's dark when it should be light. A falcon has been hunted and killed by an owl. Duncan's horses have eaten each other. Things are not right, are they? I'll come back to all of this. The scene ends with Ross and Macduff talking, and Ross says to Macduff, "Will you to Scone?" And Macduff says, "No, cousin, I'll to Fife." Ross saying, "Will you to Scone?" means, are you coming to a place called Scone where the King of Scotland will be crowned? Are you coming to Macbeth's coronation? Macduff answers promptly, "No, cousin, I'll to Fife. I'm not coming to see Macbeth crowned. I'm going home." First thing, summarise the scene in 20 words or fewer. Pause the video, press play when you're ready to go again. Okay, everyone, welcome back. We're going to look now at how does Shakespeare show the natural world to have been turned on its head. Well, firstly, we have an owl attacking a falcon, and then we have two horses trying to eat each other. Next to your picture of the falcon and the owl, I would like you to annotate them. A falcon. These are some ideas, but not all of them. You can research these for more. A falcon is a fierce bird of prey. It's a predator. It's also very powerful. And it's regal. It's royal. It's associated with royalty. In medieval heraldry, the symbols that they have on coats of arms and shields, falcons were commonly found. They are symbols of royalty. That might be King Duncan, might it? In contrast, the owl is nocturnal. It hunts by night. It's timid or shy, and it's associated with evil. Do we have the Macbeths here? Is this falcon being hunted? This falcon being hunted and killed by an owl, a symbol of the Macbeths killing King Duncan? Notice also it's a mousing owl. A mousing owl, an even smaller owl. So this shouldn't happen. Let's think, how does Shakespeare show the natural world to have been turned on its head? Further, with the horses. So I've given you some idea about the owl and the falcon there. What about the horses? Well, these horses are powerful and bold. There's two of them. They break free first, then they eat each other. What do you think could be symbolised by that? I'm not going to give you any ideas for that for the horses, but your teacher would love it if you could come up with symbolic ideas about the two horses eating each other. So I've given you stuff about the owl and the falcon. What can you come up with about the horses? Send it to your teachers. So, how did Shakespeare show the natural world to have been turned on its head? And why has Shakespeare presented regicide, the killing of the king, as having this subversive effect? If you kill the king, the world will be turned upside down. Well, why? To understand this, we need to understand what people believed at the time. And King James was a big believer in this. It's called the Great Chain of Being. Everything is in its position, and there is a hierarchy. At the top of the hierarchy is God. What do you think go in the places beneath him? I'll give you some time to think. Maybe not write it down, maybe jot a note somewhere, but don't fill in your pyramid, so I will give you the answers. Pause, please, and think, what do you think will be the next places? Okay, welcome back. The answers: beneath God, angels and demons. Beneath that, the stars and the moon. Think of all those references to stars in Macbeth too. Beneath that, kings. King Duncan in the play. Beneath that, princes in the play, Malcolm and Donalbain. Beneath that, noblemen like Ross and Angus and Banquo, and of course, most importantly, the Thane of Cawdor and Thane of Glamis himself, Macbeth. Beneath them, men, normal men. Now let's think about this. When Macbeth kills King Duncan to become king, he's not only killing someone higher than him in the hierarchy, he is overleaping the princes to get there. He is subverting the great chain of being. He's broken the great chain of being to reach this place. That might be why the world is going mad. Just for interest, beneath men beneath men it is wild animals and then domesticated animals. There's animals in this scene, I'm not sure what to make of that, but I'm sure you can come up with something interesting. And just to complete it, we're down to trees and rocks and things like that after those. So, why does Shakespeare show the natural world to have been turned on its head? And why has Shakespeare presented regicide as having this effect? The killing of the king is so appalling that it means that the world will rebel, that it'll be night in daytime, that that animals will hunt out of their order, that peaceful, beautiful animals like horses will do something awful and barbaric like eating each other. What's the message? Shakespeare's sending a clear message here, isn't he? Don't kill the king. Don't try to kill King James. Now remember, a year before this play was written, Guy Fawkes and friends tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament to kill King James. Assassination was a genuine fear of King James's. So Shakespeare said to them, you kill the king, the world will be wild. I just want to finish here with thinking about Macduff. So Ross asks him, will you to Scone? Will you come to the coronation? Macduff, no, cousin. I'll to Fife. Doesn't say any more of it than that. How's Shakespeare positioning Macduff here? Well, he's positioning Macduff in a position of doubt of Macbeth, isn't he? Macduff doubts Macbeth's honesty and his motives. And I think by doing so, he's setting up Macduff as opposition to Macbeth's rule. And of course, by the end of the play, Macduff will really become the avenging hero, won't he? He will avenge his family, and he will be our hero taking justice on the monstrous tyrant that is the tragic hero Macbeth. But interesting too, that he says, no, cousin, I'll to Fife. Fife's his home. Perhaps this is giving us a clue. Macduff is more family focused, which will set up when his family are cruelly and pointlessly murdered, just how sad that is for Macduff. Okay, if you could fill in your last few boxes, please. You can always go back and check things. Send your work into your teacher. This has been a short one, but it's a really interesting scene, isn't it? Great for imagery. That's it for me. Bye-bye.